Hello, I'm Shalmee Manuel. I'm a clinical psychologist, and today we'll talk about stress management and healthy coping mechanism. I'm glad to have you all today with us, and today we'll be diving into stress effects onto our bodies and minds, practical ways to manage it, and also the importance of adopting healthy coping mechanism to reduce the risk of substance use. Now, whether you're here to learn more for yourself or for someone you know, I hope today's episode will provide you the valuable insights and tools for supporting your mental well-being. Let's dig into the understanding about stress and talk about the definition of stress. So we'll start with understanding in-depth information about the stress. Do you know that stress is a natural response to the challenges in life? And it triggers our fight or flight responses, preparing the body to react to potential threats. While short-term stress can be helpful in certain situations, like chronic stress can seriously impact the mental and physical health. Now, the question that comes to my mind is, what is actually stress? Stress is the body's reaction to external pressures or demands. It can be caused by work-related pressure, like if you have tight deadlines and long hours of jobs and you have job insecurities. Or it can be due to personal challenges like relationship conflicts or financial issues, or sometimes health concerns as well. It can also be due to social and environmental factors like discrimination or housing instability or crimes. Now, everyone experiences stress differently. But when stress becomes overwhelming or it is prolonged, it can negatively affect the mental well-being along with the physical health as well. Let's talk about the specific statistics of stress in United Kingdom. Stress in the workplace is almost about 79% of the United Kingdom or adults in the United Kingdom feel stressed at least once a month, with work being the most common source of stress. Now, the question that comes to my mind is actually, what is stress? Stress is the body's reaction to external pressures or demands. Well, it can be caused by several factors. To begin with, it can be caused due to work-related pressure, like tight deadlines or long hours of job or job insecurity. It can also be due to personal challenges, like relationship conflicts or financial issues, or sometimes health concerns as well. Social and environmental factors are also responsible for causing stress, which can be discrimination or house instability, or more often crime. Now, everyone experiences stress differently, but when stress becomes overwhelming or prolonged, it can negatively affect mental health, well-being and physical health as well. Let us now focus on to some of the UK specific stress statistics. Now, stress can be work-related, and 79% of United Kingdom adults feel stressed at least once a month, with work being the most common source of stress. 940,000 United Kingdom workers suffered from work-related stress, depression or anxiety in 2022 to 23 report. Now, accounting for 49% of all work-related ill is health-related and health-causing. Now, United Kingdom has one of the longest working weeks in Europe, with an average full-time employee working about 42.5 hours per week, contributing to burnout. Now, there is another reason of stress in UK, which is financial stress. Now, over 65% of United Kingdom adults say financial worries are a major source of stress, particularly due to rising living costs. Young people of the age group of 18 to 34 years are the most financially stressed group, with 54% saying that money worries negatively impact their mental health. Relationship and family stress are also a part of these statistics. Now, 1 in 3 United Kingdom adults, which is approximately 33%, experiences relationship-related stress regularly, with common triggers being arguments or parenting pressures and separation more of the time. Parental stress is rising, with approximately 72% in United Kingdom parents reporting high levels of daily stress due to childcare or education, or most of the time financial pressures as well. Now, there are certain reasons of chronic stress which are also relating to the health risks. Now, chronic stress increases the risk of anxiety, depression, more often the heart diseases, and it also weakens the immune functions. 40% of the United Kingdom adults report stress-related sleep problems, leading to fatigue, irritability, and lower productivity. Stress-related conditions cost the NHS an estimated £11 billion per year due to increased GP visits, hospitalizations, and also mental health treatments. This is according to the NHS report of 2023. Now, what is the science behind stress? The fight and flight response is the science. So when we experience stress, or our brain releases hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, these prepare the body to react by increasing the heart rate, blood pressure, and also the alertness. Now, while this response helps in short-term situations, the long-term activation can lead to serious health problems. And when we come to talk about the stress-related or health-related stress, people experiencing health stress are twice as likely to develop the heart diseases or cardiovascular diseases. Now, chronic stress is linked to a 50% increased risk of depression and anxiety disorder. So, stress is related to other mental health problems as well. Let's explore how to recognize stress symptoms before they become overwhelming. Chronic stress can lead to serious health consequences or serious health issues. It can contribute to conditions like anxiety, depression, cardiovascular diseases, and more of the time sleep disorders as well. Now, over the time, stress affects not only our mental health or mental well-being, but also our physical or bodily ability to function normally. The effects of stress are normally on your mental health and on your physical health as well. So I'll be more than happy to explore these stress-related effects onto our mental and physical health. When we are stressed or when we experience that stress, our bodies release hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. While these hormones are helpful in the short term, whereas the prolonged exposure can increase the risk of mental health problems. Like, as I mentioned earlier, this could be anxiety, depression, and related issues as well. However, it can also accompany burnout with it. Now, if we talk about the mental health effects in UK or how it is affecting the population in UK, 74% of UK adults have felt so stressed at some point in their past year that they felt overwhelmed or unable to cope. So, rates of anxiety and depression in the United Kingdom increased by 25% during the past decade, with chronic stress being a leading contributing factor. And this was the report of NHS Digital in 2023. Young adults within the age group of 18 to 34 are the most affected, with 60% reporting stress-related anxiety and 39% experiencing depression. There are other reasons of burnout and workplace stress. So, half of the UK employees say that they have experienced burnout due to work-related stress, with the key drivers being long hours and excessive workload and lack of support from their employer or from the organization they are working with. Sectors with the highest reported workplace stress include health and social care, being 48%, however, education being 41%, and finance being 38%, with health and safety executive report by 2023. The UK loses an estimated 17 million working days annually due to work-related stress, depression, or anxiety. Now, there are some suicidal thoughts that are linked to stress. 32% of UK adults have experienced those suicidal thoughts due to the stress, with the increased or higher rates among LGBTQ community and ethnic minorities and those in the lower income groups as well. And that was actually the report of Mental Health Foundation 2023. The highest and the increased suicide rates in UK are among the middle-aged group or middle-aged men, specifically of the age group of 45 to 49, often linked to financial stress or work pressure and lack of social support as well. Now, there are some physical effects of stress too. So, on the physical side, stress can weaken the immune system. It can increase or elevate the blood pressure. It can affect the sleeping pattern. Long-term stress is also linked to an increased risk of substance abuse. Now, people often turn to alcohol, drugs, or other unhealthy coping mechanisms to mask or escape from the stress that they have, and which can create a very harmful cycle or harmful pattern. Now, it also weakens the immune system by, like, chronic stress increases the susceptibility to infections, like including the colds and flu or influenza. Now, stress-related illnesses actually cost the UK economy an estimated £28 billion annually in loss of productivity and healthcare expenses. There are some heart diseases and higher blood pressures that are also due to the cause or due to the stress. So high level of stress actually contribute to a 40% increase or increased risk of cardiovascular diseases. Stress related high blood pressure also affects 1 in every 3 UK adults, leading to higher risks of stroke and heart attacks. And that's British Heart Foundation report of 2023. There are sleep disorders and fatigue as well. Now, 42% of UK adults report stress-related insomnia or sleep disturbances, which can lead to fatigue or irritability or difficulty in concentration as well. Now, workers who sleep fewer than 6 hours per night due to stress are 2.5 times more likely to have work-related accidents. That is because of the elevated stress level. Now, substance misuse and addiction are also the reason of stress. People who experience chronic stress are twice as likely to engage in substance misuse. So 1 in every 4 UK adults use alcohol as their coping mechanism for stress, with higher rates among men and individuals in high pressure jobs. And this was the report by Alcohol Change UK in 2023. Now, Scotland and the northeast of England have the highest or the increased rates of drug related deaths, often linked to economic hardships or stress-induced substance use as well. Now we'll explore some of the effective ways to manage and reduce stress before it becomes overwhelming and the individuals become restricted or reluctant to cater it or to help it out. There are some practical stress management techniques. Now that we understood that how stress impacts us, let's look at some of the practical techniques that can help us to manage the stress on our daily basis, and we'll focus on many of those and we'll try and practice them. So first of all, we'll focus on the mindfulness. We'll talk about deep breathing, we'll talk about progressive muscle relaxation, we'll talk about some physical activities, and we'll also look upon the time management. Since you know that stress is a growing issue in UK, with studies showing that 79% of UK adults feel stressed at least once a month, with work and finances being the most common triggerers of stress among them. So 38% of the Britons say that stress negatively affects their sleep, leading to fatigue and reduced productivity. That was actually the Sleep Council UK report back in 2023. They also said that 1 in every 5 employees report experiencing severe stress at work, like it contributes to an estimated of £28 billion in the lost productivity annually, which is a huge percentage. Now, by implementing these effective techniques that we'll talk about, or the stress management strategies, we can improve both our mental and physical well-being. Let's talk about mindfulness. It means staying present. Mindfulness involves being present in the moment without judgment. This simple practice can help ground us or bring our focus away from the stressors into the present. There are certain benefits of mindfulness. Let's talk about the first one. Now, it reduces the stress almost by 30% when practiced on the regular basis, and this is the report by NHS. It improves the focus and emotion regulation, helping with anxiety and burnout as well. The mindfulness-based interventions are actually used in NHS mental health programs, especially for anxiety and depression. There is also another exercise that is called guided mindfulness exercise. What you can do is take a moment to sit comfortably. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in and slowly exhale out. Now notice the sensation in your body. Your feet on the ground, your hands in the resting position gently, and now focus on your breathing. If your mind begins to wander, gently bring it back to your breath. Now practicing this mindfulness daily, even for just 5 to 10 minutes, can significantly lower the stress levels over the time. Next technique is deep breathing. It is a natural calm of the body. Now, deep breathing helps reduce the body's stress response. One popular technique is the 4-7-8 method. Breathe in for a count of 4, hold your breath for 7 seconds, and then exhale slowly for the 8. This slows the heart rate and calms the nervous system as well. Now, how does deep breathing actually helps? It helps to lower your blood pressure and lowers the heart rate, reducing the stress level that is related to health risks as well. Now, shown to decrease the cortisol as well. Cortisol is the stress hormone actually, and it is reduced up to 20% when we do deep breathing. Regular deep breathing, it can also improve your sleep quality in 45% of stressed individuals as well. Guided deep breathing exercise is also one of the most important. So let's try and do it together. Now inhale for 4 counts, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 7 and then exhale for 8 counts. You can repeat the same exercise for like twice a day. Now practicing this will help you to overcome the stressful events like exams or presentations or difficult conversations, because it will help you to calm down your mind and stay focused. Another technique is progressive muscle relaxation, which is a releasing physical tension exercise. PMR or progressive muscle relaxation basically is a technique where you tense and then relax different muscle or group of muscles in your body. Now this helps actually to release the physical tension and promotes the relaxation. The question that comes to my mind is that why PMR is so effective? It is used in NHS therapy for anxiety, PTSD and panic disorders, and it actually helps to reduce the muscle pain caused by stress in 60% of the individuals, and this was according to the physiotherapy report of UK in 2023. Now regular PMR actually improves the sleep cycle by 55% of the people who are suffering from sleep related problems like insomnia. Let's practice some of the PMRs. Let's try it quickly. Start by clenching your fist as tightly as you can. Hold for a few seconds and then start releasing it. Now feel the tension melt away. You can do this for other parts of the body as well, like your shoulders or your neck, or even though for your legs and your feet as well. Now this technique is especially or specifically useful before bedtime, as it prepares the body for deep relaxation. Another good thing you can do to release your stress is physical activity. Exercise is one of the best ways to manage your stress, as it releases endorphins, which is our body's natural stress relievers. Now how does exercise reduce the stress? Now, people who engage in physical activity are 30% less likely to develop stress-related disorders. Even just 30 minutes of moderate exercises 5 times a week can reduce stress levels by 40%. Now, outdoor activities like walking in nature or talking to the nature or spending some time in the nature have been shown to lower the cortisol levels by 20%. Now the best stress relief exercises could be walking or jogging that actually boosts the mood and reduces anxiety. It can be yoga or it can be stretching that actually relieves the muscle tension and promotes relaxation. Now strength training, which actually reduces the stress hormones and increases the resilience, can also be useful. Even small changes like taking the stairs instead of the elevator or walking during the lunch breaks, it actually can significantly lower the stress levels among the individuals. Other technique that can use is time management, which is actually reducing the overwhelming state. When it comes to managing stress, organization is the key. Now let's look at some of the management tips to help you stay on top of your responsibilities without being overwhelmed. But the important thing is why time management matters. Poor time management is linked to 45% of work-related stress in the cases of UK. Employees who plan their day in advance are 25% more productive and experience 30% less stress. This is according to the report of Health and Safety Executive 2023. Now, university students who use the time management strategies report 40% lower academic stress. Stress levels reduce when they plan their whole day. There is a effective time management tip that you can try and do for yourself. The first one is prioritize your tasks. Like focus on urgent and important tasks first. Try to set a target for yourself. Break the large tasks into the smaller ones. Make overwhelming projects more manageable. You can also use a planner or a digital calendar that helps you to track the deadlines and the commitments that you've made. And also avoid multitasking. Now, focusing on one task at a time increases efficiency and reduces the stress. You have to set some realistic goals, preventing the burnout by ensuring workloads are manageable. Managing the time effectively allows us to create, a better balance between the work responsibilities and the self-care as well. Now, I would really like to discuss that how you can build resilience against the stress and develop the long-term coping strategies. But the important thing that we need to discuss is the role of healthy coping mechanism in preventing the substance use. So, healthy coping mechanism or healthy coping strategies are actually much essential in managing your stress and avoiding the temptation to turn to substance use like alcohol or drugs or any other substance that is used to maintain your stress. As I mentioned earlier, that mindfulness, exercise and social support are all great alternatives to unhealthy coping strategies. But why healthy coping strategies matter? Why is it important to have healthy coping mechanism? Now, stress is a major trigger for substance misuse, and in the UK, the link between stress and substance use is very evident and very clear. Over 9 million people in the UK drink alcohol at levels that pose a risk to their health, often as a way to manage stress. The report said that 21% of UK adults admit to use substances like alcohol or nicotine or other related drugs, and they use it to cope with stress. 1 in every 4 adults with mental health conditions also struggle with substance use, showing a very strong and significant correlation between stress, mental health and addiction. And this was according to the report by NHS Digital in 2023. Now, work-related stress costs the UK economy, as mentioned earlier, £28 billion annually, contributing to unhealthy coping habits like drinking or smoking. And this was the report by Health and Safety Executive 2023. So, developing healthy coping mechanism is crucial in preventing the reliance on substances as a way to manage their stress or as a way to cope their stress. Mindfulness could be a key to emotional regulation. Mindfulness is also considered to be a powerful way to stay in the present and manage the emotions without turning yourself towards substance. Studies have also shown that mindfulness can reduce the cravings and they can improve the emotion regulation and decrease the stress levels. I would really like to share some of the statistics about it. Mindfulness reduces stress by up to 40% when practiced on the regular basis, and this was a statistic by University of Oxford. NHS mindfulness-based programs have helped reduce alcohol dependence in almost 60% of the participants. NHS mind-related techniques have helped to reduce almost 46% of alcohol dependence in the participants. Now, people who practice actually mindfulness are 25% less likely to engage in substance misuse, and this is a report by Mind UK 2023. Now, practical mindful exercises are also available. So let's try a simple mindfulness exercise. You can close your eyes, take a deep breath and focus on your breath. Notice how your body feels. If your mind starts to wander, gently bring it back to the focus by bringing it back to your breath. Practicing it daily can help you to manage your stress very much effectively. Now, by practicing this mindfulness exercise, we can reduce the stress without relying on the substances. Exercise can also be a natural mood booster. Exercise is one of the most effective ways to relieve stress. It improves the mood and reduces the risk of substance misuse. Now, the question is how exercise helps to prevent the substance use. If you do the regular physical activity, It lowers the risk of substance abuse by 30%, which is the report by British Journal of Sports Medicine. Exercise reduces cravings for alcohol and nicotine by increasing the dopamine levels naturally. Now, the people who exercise at least 3 times a week are 50% more likely to maintain to sobriety after quitting a substance or alcohol or any drug. There are certain best types of exercise for stress and mental health that you can practice on your daily basis. You can give certain time to it, like 5 or 10 minutes at least. Among those are the cardio activities like running, cycling or swimming that actually help to reduce endorphins and reduce anxiety. Yoga and Pilates can improve the relaxation and reduce the cortisol level, which is the stress hormone. Now, strength trainings can also build resilience and improve the mental health over the time, increasing your physical resilience too. Even a short walk outside can significantly improve the mental well-being and reduces the urge to use the substances. You need to build a support system. You need to understand that you're not alone, because the social connections, they play a very crucial role in stress management and preventing the stress use. Now, having a strong support system can make all the difference. Now, why social systems are important, or social supports important, or why does it matter? The people who have strong social support networks are 55% less likely to engage in the substance misuse. Like talking to someone actually reduces the stress related cravings for alcohol and drugs almost by 13%. Support groups like Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous, they have helped millions to achieve the long-term recovery, which is a great achievement. Now, there are certain ways to gather up or to connect with or to build your own support system. You can talk to the family member or friend about your stressors. You can join a peer support group. You can also seek some of the professional counseling or professional help, because therapy has been proven to reduce the substance misuse for like up to 45%. This is according to the British Psychological Society. You need to understand that you don't have to go through the stress alone. A strong support system is the key to preventing unhealthy coping mechanism. You need to understand that you need to make healthy lifestyle choices. Small changes will have big impacts. Now, beyond the mindfulness, exercise and social support, adopting to healthy lifestyle habits can make a significant difference in preventing or overcoming or fighting with the stress-related substance use as well. Now, there are some key healthy habits. The first one, proper sleep. Poor sleep increases stress and substance cravings by 35%. Adults should aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night to reduce the stress and promote the mental clarity or mental well-being. The second point that comes to my mind is balanced nutrition. Now, a healthy diet lowers the stress-related substance craving by 25%. Avoid excessive caffeine and sugar, which can actually contribute to the stress and anxiety, and avoid using it particularly before the bedtime. Now, another important way of engaging yourself into hobbies can also reduce the stress level. Now, people who regularly engage in creative activities like music or art or writing, they are 40% less likely to turn to substance abuse, to cope with their stress. Now, a well-balanced lifestyle supports the long-term stress resilience, and it also reduces the likelihood of substance misuse. The other thing that you can do is seeking the professional help. If you want to reach out to somebody, that's also important. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, stress becomes overwhelming. Knowing when to speak to a professional or to take the professional help is also essential. There are certain signs that you may have to understand. Persistent stress and anxiety despite using healthy coping mechanisms, that is the signature part that you need to understand. So increased resilience on the alcohol or drugs or nicotine can be managed, and it can also impact the emotions. Feeling isolated or hopelessness is also important thing that needs to be managed. Now, there is important thing that you need to understand, that UK has support systems. NHS talking therapies, which are the free mental support for stress, anxiety, and substance use, can also be used. Now, local drug and alcohol services are also available through your general physicians or through the referrals or sometimes the community centers as well. Now, seeking help is a sign of strength. It's if you feel stressed or it is unmanageable for you, you need to trust onto the professional help or organizations. Now, by integrating those coping strategies with the help in your daily life, you can manage your stress very effectively and you can prevent reliance onto the substance abuse. There are certain resources for those who are struggling with stress-related challenges. Now, for anyone who is actually struggling with stress or substance abuse, the resources that are available or that could be used can be counseling services. They can be online mental health platforms, or they can be support groups where you can go and ask for the help that you need and you will be provided with the help. So if you're looking for personalized assistance, the Awakening Rehab offers services for stress management and substance abuse or substance misuse prevention as well. We also have a variety of resources to help you cope with stress, and it will also improve your overall well-being. Understanding the need for support, stress-related challenges are becoming, a significant issue in UK. And it is actually affecting the mental health, the work performances, and also the overall well-being as well. I would really like to share some of the statistics on stress and substance use with you as well. 74% of UK adults, they have felt overwhelmed by the stress in the past year. And 1 in every 6 people in UK have experienced anxiety and depression linked to the stress every week. And this is according to the report of NHS Digital. Over 50% of UK employees report that work stress negatively impacts their mental health along with their physical conditions. 2.4 million people, I'll repeat this, 2.4 million people in UK are dependent on alcohol, and 1 in 4 of them cite stress as primary factor for their drinking or their drug habits. There were over 3,000 drug-related deaths in England and Wales in 2023, with stress and mental health disorders often cited as underlying causes. With these numbers in mind, it's clear that accessing the professional support is crucial. It's very, very important. Let's look at the available resources that we have in UK. Now, there are certain UK-based mental health and substance abuse resources for the individuals who are struggling with stress, or they are struggling along with the stress, they are struggling with the substance-related challenges. A variety of free and paid services are also available in UK, and one of them is an example is NHS and government-supported services. NHS talking therapies, which are free counseling and cognitive behavioral techniques for stress, anxiety, and depression. There are also some local drugs and alcohol services which are available through your general physician referrals, or they are also available onto the NHS websites as well. Hub of Hope is another UK-based wide database for finding local mental health support. We Are With You is also again a free confidential support for substance use and mental health challenges. So let me repeat that. If you or someone you know is struggling, now these services in UK can provide guidance, support, and treatment options for everyone who is struggling. There are some online mental health platforms and digital support systems as well. With the rise of digital mental health services, individuals can now access the therapy, or they can now have access to the stress management tools or self-help resources that are available for them online. There are digital platforms for mental health and stress management, and many of them include Silver Cloud UK, which is an online therapy platform supported by the NHS for stress, anxiety, and substance use. Another platform that you can access is Together All. It is a peer support community with mental health resources and trained professionals. Campaign Against Living Miserably is also an online support for stress, anxiety, and along with that for suicidal thoughts. Now, QL, a free digital counseling service, is for the adults who are struggling with stress. Did you know that over 60% of UK adults prefer accessing mental health support online rather than in physical or in person? So, NHS digital therapy, that is the services that have increased by 80% since 2020, showing a shift toward remote mental health care. Now, the online resources that are available, they actually provide the flexibility and accessibility for those who may not feel comfortable seeking the in-person help. The workplace support for stress management, work-related stress, is one of the leading causes of mental health issues and substance misuse or substance use in the UK. Many of the workplaces now offer support for the employees struggling with stress. The workplace mental health resources in the UK are also available, and employees should have the access to them. Among them are the Employee Assistance Program, which is known as EAP, and many of the UK companies provide free, confidential counseling for their employees. Now, mental health first aiders is for employees. It is through the trained professionals in workplaces, and they offer immediate support to the people who are suffering. ACAS or ACAS offers the workplace mental health guidance, and it also helps in the dispute resolutions. HSE stress management standards are also helpful for the employees. It is a framework for reducing the workplace stress. About 828,000 UK workers suffered from work-related stress in 2023, according to the reports of Health and Society Executive. The work-related stress, depression, and anxiety account for 51% of all the work-related ill health cases in the UK. Now, 1 in every 5 of the UK employees report turning to alcohol or smoking due to the workplace stress or workplace pressure. So, if workplace stress is a concern, check if your employer offers mental health support or EAP services. Let us now discuss about the community support groups and peer networks. Now, sometimes talking to others with similar experiences can incredibly help in managing the stress level. It also helps you to cope with the substance-related challenges as well. I would really like to discuss about the UK community support groups that we have. So the first one that can be reached is Smart Recovery UK, which actually helps the individuals struggling with addiction through the peer support and self-management techniques. Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous is basically a peer-led recovery support network for the alcoholics or for anyone who is suffering with narcotics. Anxiety UK also supports groups for people dealing with stress and anxiety. Men's Shed UK is a community space for men to talk and support each other. Now, people who engage in peer support groups are 40% more likely to maintain the long-term sobriety after they are recovering with any kind of substance abuse. Now, group therapy reduces stress and improves the mental well-being in 70% of the participants, according to NHS digital report. Now, joining a support group can also increase the level of motivation and the level of encouragement and a sense of community in your journey to you have a better mental health. So, if you or someone you know is struggling, then reach out. There is help available and no one has to face these challenges alone. I would really like to thank you all for attending today's episode on the stress management and healthy coping mechanism. I hope you feel more equipped to handle stress in healthy ways. Again, remember, the key is to practice these techniques on regular basis and seek help when needed. Take the time to prioritize your mental health. And if you have any queries, any questions, or you would like to get more resources, don't hesitate to reach out the Awakening Rehab. You can find our information onto the website. Wishing you all the best on your journey to stress-free living. Thank you and have a wonderful day.